Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to day 12 of G1 Climax coverage here on TwitWow. We have the New Japan World Player pulled up. We are at 15 minutes and 5 seconds. Our first match looks to be a battle of the young boys, which means one of them has to win. Yohei Komatsu versus Jay White. We'll be hitting the play button on go. 3, 2, 1, go. And referee patting down Yohei Komatsu, making sure he doesn't have any kind of illegal objects in his pads, and there's the bell.
This should be a very interesting matchup, Ashton. We've been able to scout both Yohei Komatsu and Jay White in tag team action. This is the first singles bout that we have seen between two young boys. One of them has got to win, and I think that win will be most impressive here at the G1 Climax 2015 here.
Who you got here, John? Who do you think's winning this?
I've got Yohei Komatsu, brother. I think he's been the most impressive young boy of the crop. I know you kind of have similar sentiments. I could see him going all the way here.
Absolutely, I feel the same way.
Nice kick to the gut there by Komatsu, and now he's got that wrist lock. Nice control.
But Jay White showing some athleticism here. Oh, and climbs up over Komatsu.
That was a brilliant counter.
But Komatsu with the leg strength lifts him over. Oh, but Jay White again, but Komatsu again. These guys are at a stalemate, man.
Absolutely. Backslide by Komatsu. 1, 2, and Jay White kicks out. Very interesting.
Though. So close.
I like the persistency of Jay White, but I got to tell you, the persistency as well of Yohei Komatsu to keep using that leg strength. Very impressive, very telling. I think we're going to learn so much about these two competitors in the course of this one match than we have in all of their preceding tag team bouts here at the G1 Climax.
Komatsu with the side headlock. Jay White trying to fight out of it.
Shoots him off the ropes, breaks out of it. But Komatsu gets the shoulder block. Nice shoulder block. Good intensity there from Komatsu.
Stiff shoulder block for sure.
Absolutely. And there's a kick, I think, right to that shoulder.
Yeah.
And actually, while we see the two young boys squaring off, do you want to inform anybody about the G1 Climax tournament matches that we got going on today? Because we know about our main event, brother. That's going to be a barn burner.
Absolutely. Well, our main event, as you just brought up, is going to be Okada Ishii. Everyone knew about that. The other matches, though, that we're going to be getting tonight, we are going to be getting Hanma versus Carl Anderson. That's probably the next match that I'm looking most forward to. Nagata versus Elgin. That should be interesting. I'm picking Elgin to win that. Goto versus Kojima. That ought to be interesting. That's actually one of the higher up matches because one has 3 wins, the other has 2. And then another match where one guy has 3 wins and the other has 2. Nakamura versus Takahashi. Ought to be interesting. Definitely picking Nakamura to win, but I'm still curious to see how they make Takahashi look legit.
Well, that injured elbow could be the wild card for Nakamura. A nice arm drag there by Yohei Komatsu goes right into the cover, and Jay White, though, kicking out.
We know how precise Takahashi can be with how pinpoint he was targeting Nagata's ribs, so maybe he'll kind of pull that out for Nakamura's elbow as well.
Absolutely, and you see there Jay White now trying to fight up back to a vertical base. Komatsu, though, nice forearm. Shoots off the ropes. Jay White, though, the leapfrog.
Back elbow.
The back elbow, nice. Could be a tide-turning sequence here for Jay White. And now he's going to stalk Komatsu here. Komatsu going to try to take refuge in the opposite corner. I don't think it'll do him any good. Jay White charges, and I think that was an uppercut.
Yeah, it looked like an uppercut to me, too.
Now he's going to go to the top rope.
On the top
presumably.
This will drop kick.
That's what I was thinking, and he got it.
Oh, and the flat back, too.
Absolutely. Komatsu almost flipping, doing a 180. He kicked out there. Ashton, I got to tell you, brother, all I have been thinking about, I mean, no offense to our other G1
Oh, man, Jay White has been trying to lock in some kind of a maneuver with both legs. I don't know if he wants a slingshot or a spin or a Boston Crab or something like that, but it doesn't really matter because every single time he tries to do it, Komatsu reverses.
Except this time he had the hook in on the sunset flip there.
And now, he does the Boston Crab. Look at that. Maybe that's what he's been going for all match, and now he finally gets it without the proper setup.
I'll tell you what, Jay White has been persistent in wanting that hold. Will that persistency pay dividends? Will Yohei Komatsu tap out here? Oh, but look at the strength of Komatsu.
You've got to appreciate the persistence of Jay White.
Absolutely, and you got to imagine, how is the back of Yohei Komatsu feeling? I mean, he got camel clutched earlier, he got stomped on it earlier, all leading up to this double leg, Boston Crab, this high angle Boston Crab, if you will. And Komatsu now trying to get the ropes, and he does, and Jay White does make the clean break.
Wouldn't a high angle Boston Crab be closer to like a Walls of Jericho?
Yeah, I think, yeah, that's right. There's a forearm there. But Komatsu returns, and now we got this forearm exchange. And Jay White, though, I think Wood is in the dominant position. He's not as weak as Komatsu right now after enduring that Boston Crab. And now, oh, Komatsu there. Oh, but he gets a chop for his
What a
troubles.
chop! Did you hear that, John? You could hear that probably halfway across the arena.
Absolutely
Oh, and
reverberated throughout
Komatsu,
this place.
beautiful right hand there.
And that could be the opening, though, for Komatsu because he needs to get his bearings together and get back in this match. Jay White now in the opposite corner here. And now Komatsu going to charge. And, oh, what an uppercut there by Komatsu.
I couldn't tell if that was an uppercut or a back elbow.
And now arm
Now,
trap suplex. 2.
that single underhook.
Absolutely. And Jay White kicks out. Komatsu, though, so impressive. And he just signaled for something. I wonder what this could be here from Yohei
We've never
Komatsu.
seen any kind of a finisher from either one of these guys.
Absolutely. Oh, nice
Oh, Jay
counter.
White,
Really
that was
counter,
almost
too.
like a DDT. Oh, but Komatsu gets out.
Yeah, he got that inside crowd. That was a brilliant counter by Jay White. And now backslide here.
Backslide. Oh man.
1, 2. Oh no!
Oh,
Again, another 2
that
count.
was actually
Man,
really close.
wow. Oh, and
Oh,
almost
what
like
a slap!
overhand slap by Jay White. Now he's got Komatsu in the waist lock. Could it be German? Komatsu stuffs the attempt. There are the elbows. Reverses it. Standing switch. Runs Jay White against the ropes. Tried to go for the pinning combination. Oh, ducks the clothesline. Oh, look at that. Single leg Boston Crab by Komatsu.
Oh, and he's immediately got it in so deep. He's got this in way deeper than Jay White's Boston Crab was.
Oh, wow. Oh, look at. Oh, and he's tapping.
Yep,
He's tapping.
there it
Oh, my
is.
God.
Komatsu with the win. The first time we've ever seen him or any young boy pick up a victory.
I gotta tell you, Ashton, this is the biggest compliment I could give Yohei Komatsu. In my over a decade of watching pro wrestling, I don't think I've ever seen a Boston Crab, a single leg Boston Crab at that, look as excruciating as Yohei Komatsu just did there. He arched his back in that hold.
He
Good
was pretty
God.
much sitting on Jay White's back.
Absolutely. He gave Jay White no other choice but to tap out. And
Yeah.
Yohei.
And White was so close to get into the ropes too, but then Komatsu just pulled him away and sealed it.
We have talked about since the first time we saw Yohei Komatsu that we thought he was the best prospect among the young boys, and he gets his first win here in singles action. It was him versus Jay White, 2 young boys. Who was going to get the win? Komatsu gets the nod, and you have to wonder what that means for his future.
Yeah, I mean, I almost have to wonder, like, how much longer does he have as a young boy? Because just kind of the way that they've been portraying him, and now he picks up a win over Jay White, really makes you feel like maybe he's been a young boy for a lot longer than Jay White, and probably, well, definitely David Finlay, because I think David Finlay's only been a young boy for less than 6 months.
Absolutely. And a really exciting opening bout here at day 12 of G1 Climax, especially those final few minutes. I'll tell you, both of those men, their counter wrestling, I thought was so impressive.
Yeah,
But
that was a fun match. That was a good opener.
absolutely, Yohei Komatsu on this day, better than Jay White as we prepare now for our next bout. Tag team action here. Let's see who we got. I
I can
recognize
tell
the.
you who we got: Tetsuya Naito and David Finlay versus Chaos.
Oh, well, if I'm David Finlay, I'm kind of shuddering a little bit knowing that Naito is my partner.
Chaos represented by Toru and YOSHI-HASHI.
That should be. I mean, they're a formidable team. We've seen them tag before, so we're no strangers to that team.
Yeah, I mean, it's
And
basically going to come down to either Naito is going to pin Yoshi-Hashi, or I guess the other option is just one of the guys on the other team pins David Finlay.
well, now we can, presume Ashton that Naito is going to face Toru Yano tomorrow at day 13.
Yeah,
Uh,
and that is correct. That is correct. He will
and
be.
I gotta tell you, from where I sit, I mean, I know we usually like to have a good time with Toru Yano's matches, and he's a formidable competitor. I mean, he took Tanahashi to the limit in their G1 Climax tournament match, but I think for the first time, I'm really fearing for the safety of Toru Yano. He still has that horrible bruise, the facial damage after his match with Tenzan, where he got cut really deep. I mean, the wound reopened with
Against
Tanahashi.
Tanahashi.
And here's the thing, though. I think it may reopen again with Naito, except that reopening will be deliberate. if Naito has anything to say about it. The man's pure psychotic, so I do fear a little bit for Toru Yano's welfare come tomorrow, day 13 of the G1 Climax.
Yeah, yeah. Naito is definitely the type that would intentionally try to reopen that wound.
And the funny thing is, Ashton, let's just again we think about the triangles that we have. Shibata beat Naito, but Toru Yano beat Shibata. So how is that all going to work out? You have to wonder. And here comes Naito.
So by indirect comparisons, you could say that Toru Yano is better than Naito.
You could.
Which
You
is
could make
exactly why indirect comparisons don't work in wrestling.
Exactly. I mean, then again, if you were to say that to Naito, I'm sure he would have a pretty violent response. Speaking of
No,
violent,
he wouldn't have a response. He would just sit back and laugh at you.
exactly, and then it would probably really exacerbate my deeply rooted insecurities, and then he would send me down a downward spiral and think to himself, mission accomplished. But
And then you
thankfully,
would join Los Ingobernables
exactly,
to
and there you,
compensate.
absolutely, and David Finlay. Looking so pumped up. I don't know why. I wouldn't be pumped up if I knew I had a team with Naito. But
How about because Naito's amazing and he's excited to team up with him?
well, yeah, I guess. But imagine if they lose. Imagine what's gonna happen to David Finlay when he eats the pin. Because I don't think Naito's gonna be in too good of a mood. But
I don't think Naito's gonna care. Does he care about anything?
no, he really doesn't. And Ashton, I mean, let's be honest here, bro. Naito, even when he loses a match, it's almost an inevitability that he'll bounce right back. So even with his losses, and he has suffered some. I mean, again, Shibata, Makabe, people like that. He's always managed to bounce back. And I'm telling you, don't count Naito out of this tournament, folks. He may still be the winner of his block. He may be the winner of this whole damn thing before it's over. And now Naito coming in. Thankfully, it won't. Oh, and Toru Yano. But Naito again shrugging it off, not playing those games. Toru Yano proud of himself.
This is the ultimate match of mind games. Let's just point that out because, I mean, Naito always pulls out the mind games, taking super long time to take his attire off and really trying to slow the match down, or maybe taking it to the outside and waiting for the other person to come out only to slam him up against the guardrail a few times. Naito is really, really getting the mind games going on in this tournament, but Toru Yano is the king of mind games.
That is such an excellent point, Ashton. I mean, both of these guys, their offensive style is predicated on the psychological, and you just got to wonder who has the greater psychological game. And for my money, as good as Toru Yano is, I have to say Naito in that regard.
But I think the question really has to become who gets frustrated with the other first.
And maybe it'll be neither. Maybe it'll come down to something other than mind games in the context of this one match. Because I can't really see Toru Yano getting frustrated. And Naito, well, again, Naito just is emotionless. He doesn't feel anything. And there, Toru Yano, again, starting his mind games. David Finlay was not going to tag in Naito. And so YOSHI-HASHI gets tagged in instead.
Makes sense to me. I wasn't expecting to see either one of the heavyweights start this match.
Absolutely. And Haji already going in for that waist lock, but I think David Finlay has control of the arm, and there's the wrist lock.
YOSHI-HASHI, but YOSHI-HASHI reverses into a wrist lock of his own. Is he going to try and convert it into a hammerlock, maybe?
Maybe. But look at that, David Finlay, though, shifting the momentum. And now there's the hammerlock. I'll tell you, both these guys so impressive. David Finlay, I would say, right behind Yohei Komatsu for me as most impressive young boy. Nothing really wrong with Jay White, but those three guys, I'd put him at the bottom for my money. I don't know if you have a similar ranking, but
I mean, I think that if we're talking ceiling, I would agree with you. But as of right now, I would probably still put Jay White ahead of David Finlay.
And that's understandable. And see, right there already, the miscommunication, because Naito doesn't care about anything.
That's David not miscommunication, brother. That's intentional.
Absolutely. You know what? Yeah, I stand corrected. I used the wrong term. I guess it was.
Toru Yano already taking the turnbuckle pad off. He didn't even wait to get tagged in this time.
He didn't. I think he sees that Naito really doesn't want to be here. He's not going to be of service in this tag team match. So why not just torture the young boy for a little bit? And I'll tell you, I feel for David Finlay right now. Oh my God, the back on the exposed turnbuckle.
See, now he made that look incredibly painful.
And now here comes Toru Yano, who may just be able to pick the bones at this point. But I mean, David Finlay, he's no pushover. He may be a young boy, but he's got a lot of heart, so he'll stay in this thing whether Naito wants him to or not. And now
Yeah,
look at
that's the
Naito.
thing too, because like David Finlay, you wouldn't really expect him to stand much of a chance against a heavyweight like Toru Yano, but that's like you said, he's got tons of heart. He'll stay in it as long as he possibly can,
In the
until his
back,
body
yeah.
doesn't allow him to anymore.
And I mean, and Ashton, if you're David Finlay, before you make your entrance, you would have had to have watched Yohei Komatsu versus Jay White in the preceding bout. You see Yohei Komatsu get the win. You see him get that spotlight. I can only imagine how bad David Finlay wants that spotlight, and a win here over Chaos stablemates. You know, a very legitimate tag team, or should I say stable, in G1,
Yeah.
in New Japan Pro Wrestling. You know, overall. Just be so huge. And now there's the drop kick there right to the head of David Finlay, and the equilibrium now has just got to be totally thrown off. Deep cover here, and David Finlay kicks out. And that damn Naito finally decides to join the match. Yeah, welcome. Thank you for joining us.
You
God's
really
sakes.
don't like Naito.
I love the man's ability. And the man could be a world champion. Any given night, he would be given an opportunity at that belt. I guarantee you. But his attitude stinks. I'll tell you that right now. No respect, no regard for anybody. And now Hashi's going to shoot off the ropes. But David Finlay stays alive with a dropkick. What a beautiful dropkick by David Finlay.
Jeez, John, I didn't know we were allowed to use that kind of language.
Yeah, well, certainly isn't a family show. We try and make it to be as much as possible, but we have our moments. And now I think Naito finally, thank you for taking the damn tag. And now he's going to go at it here with YOSHI-HASHI, who has been softened up. You can see him favoring the head and neck. And what a Hurricane Rana there by Naito.
See, that's what's great about Naito, is that he is always just kind of chilling out, but when he turns it on, he is so exciting.
He is. I will never deny, and this is the thing, folks, I will never deny how good Naito is. And now look at that arrogant, I don't know if he's trying to cover, because I don't think it's a boot on the throat. I don't know why the referee isn't counting that there, but there comes Toru Yano. And you have to imagine he didn't take kindly to getting that forearm on the apron there. And now the assist. Oh, but Naito breaks out of it. Now look at this. Naito pretty much handling two representatives of Chaos by himself.
Oh, and now Toru Yano shot into the exposed turnbuckle.
Oh, man, and Hashi caught. Hashi caught. There's the DDT. Look at Naito go.
He is a one-man destroyer.
Unbelievable. Step up
what
in there to Toru Yano.
Jesus.
Beautiful. And now he's going to continue his work on Hashi here.
No, he's not. He's going to tag David Finlay back.
Wow. Took him by the arm and tagged him.
He got bored. He got bored and wanted out, man. He was just done.
And not only does it, yeah, he really wants out. Look at how far he's walking away here. He's, wow.
I love it.
David Finlay once again all alone. And look at that forearm, though, almost like a projectile forearm. And Hashi, I'll tell you, he's been so impressive at the G1 Climax, but David Finlay taking it to him. And wow, cannonball there, standing. It's mostly the opponent's got to be seated for that. David Finlay didn't bother. Nice steamroller there into the cover, too. And oh, Hashi kicks out. I'll tell you, can't give any slack or any sass to David Finlay. He is giving everything right now after that cannonball. That was beautiful. And now he's got the front face lock, maybe into a vertical suplex. No, Hashi there shifting the weight. Oh, but David Finlay slides through. Schoolboy, two. And oh, the kick out again. And oh, the back elbow, though, by Hashi. Now he's going to pick David Finlay up. And now, could it be a vertical suplex here? No, neck standing. Breaker. Neck breaker there. Beautiful.
Oh, Toru Yano pulls Naito down off the apron.
Two. Oh, David Finlay kicks out, though. He stays in it.
Toru Yano and Naito are fighting on the outside. YOSHI-HASHI might want to go for that senton sometime soon.
Yeah, he may want to finish it here because Naito just disposed of Toru Yano. I'll tell you what, though, if David Finlay could find the counter to get the win, they may have it here. I don't think Toru Yano's getting up. His back hit the guardrail. Oh, wow. That shot there, and now it could be that senton. Oh, he
picks him up, puts him down, puts him in place, and he's going for it. This could be it, John.
He's gonna.
Oh, it looks like Naito is taking it to Yano on the outside. He could break up the pin here if he decides he wants to. Nope.
And he decides not to. Wow.
That was hilarious. I love Naito, man. He's so good.
He could have broken it up, but to Naito, that's not, and he's leaving. He took his cap, and now he's leaving all the way.
A loss is worth getting out of this joint early, man.
I'll tell you what, though, Ashton, say what you will about Naito. I certainly have. I've certainly taken my liberties in that regard. But he realizes what the bigger matchup is, and that's tomorrow, G1 Climax Day 13.
Yeah, I
Him
mean
versus
tomorrow's
Yano.
card looks absolutely wonderful. I mean, really, it's just three matches that I think look really interesting. Kota Ibushi versus Bad Luck Fale, first of all, because that's like the ultimate David versus Goliath matchup. One of the smallest guys in the heavyweight division taking on one of the biggest guys. But then Naito versus Yano, and then our main event tomorrow, John. I don't know if you've heard this or not yet. Our main event tomorrow is Tanahashi versus Shibata.
That's right. Oh, man, their rivalry comes to a boil. It's all about winning your block at the G1 Climax. And that is the B block, correct? Or is
That's
that the
A
A
block.
block?
That's A block.
That's
Yeah.
A block. It's all about that A block supremacy.
Tanahashi, and Styles and Ibushi and Naito, all those guys are in the A block.
This is the
Whereas
B block.
The B block is more basically like strong style guys, like it's Nagata, Kojima, Hanma, Ishii.
And you know, Ashton, before we really get into this next match, I mean, I just want to say again how hyped I am for Ishii versus Okada.
Yeah,
Like, this may be the tournament matchup for me. Not to say that Shibata versus Tanahashi won't blow my mind, because believe me, it will. But I mean, you look at, first of all, the men involved, Okada and Ishii, both so talented. Then you look at the implications. One of these men is going to be at 5-1 by the end of the night. How insane is that, dude?
yeah. I mean, it would be the best record in the tournament so far,
There is Kota Ibushi.
and
I'll
I
tell
believe
you,
I saw a glimpse of Captain New Japan too. So I think they might be teaming.
the Golden Star, Kota Ibushi. And I'll tell you, I hope his star can ascend. I like Kota Ibushi. I've become a big fan of his because of this tournament. Hell, the fandom really started at Wrestle Kingdom 9 when he put on a clinic with Nakamura over the IWGP Intercontinental Championship.
And oh wow, this is an 8-man tag. This isn't a small match by any means whatsoever. We've got Ibushi, Makabe, Tenzan, and Captain New Japan taking on the Bullet Club, represented by AJ Styles, Bad Luck Fale, Doc Gallows, and Tama Tonga.
I like that, man. I like that a lot. Kota Ibushi going to be teaming with Tenzan, who he beat in a G1 Climax tournament bout. In fact, I think that was Kota Ibushi's most recent victory. So that's interesting. And then you've got Bullet Club. They are always, a well-oiled machine, always so focused and always so fun to watch.
Yeah, you've definitely got to imagine the Bullet Club's going over here with Captain New Japan eating the pin.
Absolutely. And here comes Tenzan, the NWA World Champion, beat Rob Conway for that title.
Yeah, that might be the case, but he's now literally mathematically eliminated from winning his block.
And I was going to make that point because I know you made it the last time, like after his loss to Ibushi, that, yeah, no matter what happens, he has been mathematically eliminated. And now Tenzan, I guess, is going to have to find something else to. Well, he's going to have to finish it out because everybody competes in 9 matches. But now I think.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to need to finish it out, but if he wants, he can just no-show his matches and lose them by forfeit because there's no point. I mean, he can't possibly win his block anymore, so why even bother showing up?
I mean, maybe it's just the pride of competition. I mean,
yeah, I mean that obviously that would be an explanation for it.
absolutely. I mean, Tenzan, he's the NWA World Champion. He's a New Japan roster member, and in Japan, I mean, they really instill in you. I mean, look at what they put the young boys through. Cleaning the dojos, cooking the meals. They instill in you that work ethic, that pride in what you do for when you come in the ring. I don't think that's lost on Tenzan. So he'll make a showing. I agree with you. At the end of the day, it is a moot point because he is eliminated from his block. And I'll tell you what, this 8-man tag is going to really be something else.
I guess he could still play spoiler.
That is true. That is true. He could ruin other people's G1 Climax tournament experiences. Oh, at the same time, though, beating Tenzan, I guess, only kind of furthers your experience. So, interesting way to look at things here. As now, here's Makabe. I'll tell you something. Makabe, very impressive individual. He, beat Naito in one hell of a matchup. But then I believe he faced AJ Styles recently, and he did come up short. He
Yep.
got hit with the Styles clash, but I'll tell you what, though. There was no give in Makabe. He made AJ Styles earn that victory, like you could say about every participant in this thing facing each other. You've said it many a time. If you were a slouch, you wouldn't be in the G1 Climax. Only the best of the best compete in this type of tournament.
Absolutely.
And
I mean, even I would say like the worst of the worst that kind of haven't gotten a ton of wins, or maybe they just aren't as um, supported by the fans. Maybe your Hanma, who's got no wins but has a ton of fanfare, or maybe on the other hand, like your Takahashi, who's got a few wins under his belt, but the fans don't really seem to care about him. Even those guys are definitely no slouch.
absolutely. And no doubt about that.
And speaking
And
of Takahashi facing Shinsuke Nakamura tonight, that would be interesting.
And I mean, considering that Shinsuke Nakamura, he just came off of beating the man who beat him for the Intercontinental Championship in Goto, Takahashi could make quite an impression here beating Shinsuke Nakamura.
Goto has a match against Satoshi Kojima tonight, and that should be really fun. That's a couple of guys that know how to work, brother.
Absolutely. Kojima could not beat the IWGP Heavyweight Champion in Okada. Will he have better luck against the IWGP Intercontinental Champion?
I think
And
it's a much more even matchup, to be honest.
absolutely.
Much more similar weaknesses and strengths.
Certainly. I would certainly agree with that point. No contention there. And here come the Bullet Club. And
I
I'll
would
tell
still
you what,
argue that Goto has the conditioning advantage, but it's not nearly as extreme as Okada's conditioning advantage would have been.
yeah, Okada, I'll tell you what, we talk all the time about him. I just wonder what is his game plan for Ishii because we made 2 points.
I'll tell you what his game plan for Ishii should be. Hit hard and don't get hit as much.
Exactly. And that seems to be the best game plan because we made 2 points about that match. A, that we believe that Ishii can legitimately beat Okada, and that's not much of a stretch. Where
I
maybe
think another really good option for Okada, I know he would never isolate Ishii, any body parts on Ishii, because they are stablemates in chaos, but if he really wants that kind of advantage against Ishii that it seems like a lot of people just kind of give up, he shouldn't try to win against Ishii in a fight. He should try to out wrestle him. Ishii can be out wrestled, but good luck trying to outfight him.
Well, I mean, we saw Carl Anderson out wrestle Ishii, and
Yeah.
because of that, we saw Ishii in pain, a sight that still, even despite that
Oh, and
experience,
Bullet
is a
Club
bit boring to me.
attacks.
And already, right out of the gate, I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. Well, I mean, Bullet Club showing no courtesy, going right on the attack here, as now Tonga and Tenzan, I think, are going to be the legal men for their respective teams here. I'll
Very
tell you,
interesting dynamic, but just because Tonga is actually in control right now.
absolutely, Tonga has been so impressive as of late.
A lot of people feel like Tonga should have been in this tournament instead of Yujiro Takahashi.
I'm already looking forward to the 2016 G1 Climax in case Tonga may be a participant. I'm telling you, I see an upside in this young man, and I think it'll really come out in the
Tonga
coming years.
stealing Tenzan's favorite move, Mongolian chops.
But I guess he wants us to keep it a secret, Ashton, because he keeps shushing everybody. So,
Either that or he just wants us to hear the impact.
oh, and now Tenzan, they're fighting back, and now there are the Mongolian chops from the original two. And oh, well, two took Tonga down. He didn't even need the third. And now it could be setting up Doc Gallows here. And now will Bad Luck Fale get some? And he does. Does
He's
AJ
just
want
chopping
some?
everyone, man.
Does AJ want some? Yeah,
Oh, and
AJ got
another
some.
Mongolian. And another
And another.
Mongolian. And a
And a
headbutt.
headbutt.
Whips
I'm
him into the other
guessing.
corner. I'm pretty sure Tonga is still legal, so
I'm guessing AJ Styles is facing Tenzan tomorrow. Because I know Tenzan already faced Doc Gallows.
AJ Styles is facing he is. He's facing Tenzan.
Should be an interesting matchup as Tenzan went for the cover there, but AJ kicked out.
Yeah, since we've got 6 different G1 competitors in this match, I'll kind of lay out who's facing who right now. Ibushi is facing Fale. I kind of pointed that out a couple seconds ago, talking about how it's the David versus Goliath match. Tenzan Styles, and that leaves Makabe and Gallows. That ought to be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, Ashton, here's the thing. Say what you will about Dog Gallows. That man earned my respect recently. I believe it was, at I want to say day 10, or no, it was day 11, when he took Tanahashi to the limit, didn't use Cody Hall on the outside, and was within a hair of beating Tanahashi. It was one counter by Tanahashi to the choke bomb of Gallows that was able to help him get the win. So I believe Gallows can beat Makabe without question. A nice
Kota
moonsault there
Ibushi.
by Ibushi.
Yeah, Kota Ibushi. Well, we're talking Kota Ibushi is putting on a show right now.
Yeah, lighting the world on fire while I'm sitting here gabbing about Dog Gallows. The Golden Star won't be ignored. And
When
now,
did
but now,
the world is a really funny way to pronounce Doc Gallows' chest,
yeah,
because that's what he was lighting on fire.
absolutely. Dog Gallows did not take kindly to that at all. And now this whole thing is broken down here. And look at that, Tonga taking it to Tenzan. I mean, if I had to guess a finishing sequence, it would be Tonga pinning Captain New Japan, but I guess anything's possible.
Well, anyone
So,
can pin Captain New Japan.
absolutely. And now, I wonder if we're going to restore some
Chaos.
order.
Chaos is not necessarily in this match, but it has devolved into it.
Absolutely, my friend. The Bullet Club likes it that way. They like that unrestrained warfare. That's how they work
thrive on it.
best.
They thrive on it.
Absolutely. Now Makabe there, I believe, just went into the guardrail chest first. That can't feel good at all. And now Fale is going to get back in the ring first.
Curious, because I'm pretty sure Gallows is still technically legal.
I thought so as well. And now Ibushi's going to follow. Or no, I guess Fale and Ibushi are still legal because while I was talking about Gallows, I believe Fale got the tag, and so did Ibushi. Ibushi, though, had a little altercation with Gallows, and that was, I guess, where the confusion stemmed from. But now look at the blatant disrespect. My bad luck, Fale, referee not making the count.
So weird that the referee doesn't make the count with the foot on chest pins.
Absolutely. And now Gallows there, gonna do the trifecta elbows. There's two. There's three.
Gonna
Oh,
go for more. Four.
four that time. And
Four wasn't.
Tenzan.
Yeah, three wasn't enough, man. He needed four.
Absolutely. And Tenzan with a very lackadaisical breakup just kicked Gallows in the head. Just kind of walked over like, yeah,
I don't know
no.
if Tenzan does anything that isn't lackadaisical.
Absolutely. Now look at Tonga. I'll tell you what. This man's already good enough as it is, but when you give him an opening to work with, he is just outright dangerous. And there was the blatant choke there to Ibushi, and Ibushi's partner Tenzan not really helping him here, arguing with the referee.
Yeah, well, you know what else isn't helping Tonga is the dancing that he's been doing.
Absolutely, but I think it's all part of his mind games. There's the blatant eye rake. Just want to impair Ibushi's vision there.
I'm
And
all
look at
for mind games, but when your opponent can't even see you doing the mind games, what's the point?
I guess you certainly have a point there, but that drop kick by Tonga, I'll tell you, he certainly put a point on that. His feet right
Oh,
to
and now
Ibushi's
AJ's
face.
in. AJ Styles is in this match, ladies and gentlemen.
And an all too familiar pairing, Kota Ibushi and AJ Styles. I can't
Ibushi
believe.
having beaten AJ Styles in G1.
Now let me just remind everybody of the implications of that. Say hypothetically, these two are tied for supremacy of their block. Kota Ibushi would actually get the nod because he's beaten AJ Styles. How crazy is that to think about?
Yeah, that's exactly right, John. Oh, and the leaping knee to the throat, face, I don't know.
So that is not a good way to spend your day, is getting kneed right in the face. I'll tell you what, Kota Ibushi. Now the tag in here, Doc Gallows going to come in. And now this is where Bullet Club really becomes dangerous, Ashton. When they can isolate one of the competitors from the opposition, keep them in their allied corner.
Yeah, and Doc Gallows, just the uppercut that hit Ibushi, that final uppercut really knocked Ibushi for a loop.
Absolutely. And now he's going to pick Ibushi up. Ibushi, though, slides through. And now look at that nice enziguri there. And now Doc Gallows staggering all the way in the opposite corner. Ibushi has got a rally here, and I'm glad he opted to make a tag rather than make something of it, because here comes Makabe. Oh, Tonga, though. And now, Makabe, though, snap power slam. Beautiful.
Oh,
now AJ Styles.
oh
wow. Oh, Makabe has been unleashed and now charges in the corner. And then what a clothesline there to Gallows.
Another one. Here we go. Are we going to get
Gallows leaving
punches?
his feet.
10
Oh,
count
man.
punches. He always follows this up with a Northern Lights suplex.
Almost complete here. And look at Fale arguing with the referee. Much like Tenzan earlier, not doing his partner any favors, but Gallows breaks out of the Northern Lights, shoots off the ropes.
Oh,
But
what a
lariat there.
lariat, though.
Goes right into the cover. 2. And Gallows kicks out.
Man, you know Makabe's got that Northern Lights suplex cock locked and ready to rock.
Absolutely. Another lariat there. Gallows eats that one, though. Charges again. And oh, what an uppercut there by Gallows. Takes Makabe off his feet.
That match is going to be so fun tomorrow. And the Captain New Japan in with Tama Tonga.
Oh, and there's a uppercut there to everybody. Uppercuts for everybody by Captain New Japan. And now, oh, wow. Every time.
Oh, but the Fale.
Nice.
Gallows
nice.
Someone off the corner. Bad luck, Fale. We've now got a quadruple team on Captain New Japan.
That is not going to be a good time. Gallows now charging in. AJ Styles now clothesline in the corner. Fale, all that humanity. Oh, just splashing right into Captain New Japan there. Oh, and a spear. Cover
1,
here.
2. Well, but Makabe got in the ring without the Bullet Club noticing.
Wow, and now Doc Gallows, they're taking it to Makabe.
I don't know what I'm more impressed by, the fact that Captain New Japan still would have managed to kick out of that, or the fact that Makabe went completely unnoticed by the Bullet Club.
Oh, wow, this just the whole thing is breaking down again, and now Ibushi there with a dropkick to Fale, taking him out. Now Ibushi's
That's going to be an interesting matchup tomorrow.
Absolutely. We are left again with Tama Tonga and Captain New Japan. Remember, I said I could see Tama Tonga pinning Captain New Japan. Tama Tonga may be thinking about something here. Oh, wait, look at this. Victory roll here. Victory roll here. 2.
Oh, but he kicked out. Wow.
Oh, what a near fall.
Oh, but Captain New Japan with another uppercut there.
Oh, that Tama Tonga there with the duck. Fireman's carry here. Could it be?
Here. What's he going for?
Flapjack. Oh, nice. Flapjack flipping. Flapjack there, 2. And Captain New Japan stays in it.
Out. Tenzan is up on the apron. I'm curious who's going to take him out. AJ does.
Oh, could it be the head shrinker? Could it be the head?
There it is. He nailed it.
That's going to do it.
Going
to do it.
Going to break it up.
2.
That's
3 count. Beautifully done there by Tama Tonga. Gets the win for his team. And again, the man impresses.
Good for the Bullet Club, though.
Absolutely.
I think Tama Tonga now officially has a better record than Captain New Japan in these tag matches.
Absolutely. How impressive has Tama Tonga been in these tag team bouts?
Absolutely. He has been very impressive.
He has really come into his own. Got the head shrinker on Captain New Japan, and it was academic, folks. You could have counted to 100. It was going to be over. And, yeah, the Bullet Club, everybody arguing with their respective opponents. Makabe arguing with Gallows, AJ Styles arguing with Tenzan, Ibushi arguing with Fale. All of these men know the tension. It's all going to come to a boil tomorrow.
Absolutely. And then the Bullet Club, I don't know if they're going to come out on top tomorrow, but for today they did.
Absolutely.
Let's move on to our next match, though, John. This is going to be a very interesting match. You've got, obviously, Tanahashi and Shibata are on opposite sides. Teaming with Tanahashi, though, Kushida and Mascara Dorada. Teaming with Shibata, though, Taguchi and Jushin Thunder Liger. Now, if I had to guess, I would honestly say Jushin Thunder Liger is probably going to get the win for his team. Because it seems like ever since the Brooklyn NXT announcement, New Japan has been kind of feeding Liger to kind of beef him up a little bit for Tyler Breeze.
Yes, and guys, this latest episode of NXT that happened this week, we did get that announcement of Jushin Thunder Liger, so now all cylinders are go. So it's going to be very exciting to see Jushin Thunder Liger in a WWE ring, and I'm inclined to agree with you, Ashton. I have to think he is going to get the win for his team here. But I'll tell you something, man. Tanahashi and Shibata tomorrow, you may have to clear the arena because I could just see these guys. Their hatred cannot be restrained. It'll go all over this place.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I think the one thing that I really wish would be possible for G1 is that there would be some matches that were allowed to have stipulations, because I really want this match to be false count anywhere.
Oh, my God. They would go all over the place. And let me tell you something. You've become a really big Shibata fan.
Yeah.
He got caught by Toru Yano in his most recent bout, but I say that for a reason.
Keep bringing that up, man. I'm going to get offended sooner or later.
Look, I bring it up this time, though, with a purpose. Shibata is so dangerous, so calculating. He doesn't make the same mistake twice. And you
Well,
know he's not going to let Tanahashi catch him in anything. He is,
he
yeah.
doesn't make the same mistake twice, but I would listen to this theme song twice, or three times, or 10, 11, 12. I don't know.
I just think you love the entirety of this man's packaging. And I certainly
Can
can't
you
blame
have
you.
your volume up a little bit, right?
No, I do not. I have it all the way down so I could always hear you clearly, and our
Okay.
commentary could just be nice and calm.
See, and I have my volume turned down low enough that you're way louder than the video player, and I just have fallen in love with Shibata's theme song.
I feel like Shibata's intensity. I mean, it's funny because when you look at the old WWF days and whatnot, they always used to say, like, oh, Ken Shamrock, the most dangerous man on the planet. No, Shibata, I think, runs away with that title because that man is just so technically precise. His submission acumen is strong. Really, he showed me how good he was when he beat Bad Luck Fale. And it's not even the idea that Bad Luck Fale is one of the greatest of all time, but he beat Tanahashi in this tournament. And again, we talk about those triangles. You know, Shibata beat Fale, but Fale beat Tanahashi. What does that mean, if anything at all, for Saturday?
Well, I mean, in
So,
order to make it a complete triangle, Tanahashi would need to beat Shibata, but I don't necessarily think that's a lock.
and that's just it, Ashton. The triangle theory, I think, is paid off very well ever since you developed it. But if it was to ever come into question, if one man was to ever come in, say nope, and wreck it, it is Shibata. I don't think you and I would have any qualms about that whatsoever, mainly because he'd kick you in the mouth if you did.
That's the thing, though, John. It's not really so much a theory as it is just an observation. And plus, I mean, if Shibata wins, then you could say Shibata beat Tanahashi. Tanahashi beat Ibushi. Did Ibushi and Shibata face yet?
Yeah, and Shibata got that win.
Oh, okay, yeah. So Shibata's just saying screw you to everyone.
Yeah, Shibata's dominant. Shibata is absolutely dominant.
His two losses have come to. I'm trying
AJ
to figure.
Styles and
Oh,
Toru Yano.
okay, yeah. Wow.
Oh man.
Well, I mean, there you go. Shibata, if he beats Tanahashi, we could say Tanahashi beat Toriano and Toriano beat Shibata, and that's a triangle right there, all in and of itself.
Absolutely.
There's Mascara Dorada, there's Kushida, Tanahashi high fiving the fans on his way to the ring.
I pretty much like everybody on the Tanahashi team. I mean, I may not like certain things that Tanahashi does, but he is so good, and we've never failed to acknowledge that.
Yeah.
Kushida's so much fun.
Well, I mean, you say that as if there's a ton of people on the other team that you don't like. It really is just Taguchi.
Yeah, Taguchi's the only because I mean I have all the respect in the world for Jushin Thunder Liger, Shibata. I mean enough said. Taguchi. I mean I respect him for being a former IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion. I just can't stand the constant rear-based offense.
Well, and not only is it kind of annoying to see people keep on falling for the same tricks over and over again, but it's really annoying to have to call.
Yeah, like I mean this sincerely. Like I wouldn't mind if he had just like the rear view in his arsenal and he wanted to pull that out at one point during every match.
In his
You know?
arse and all.
And yeah, oh man, you're not even punny. But yeah, I just feel like the constant use of it is just so wearing on the mind and by consequence, on the commentary. And now look at that stare down, Ashton. That could be the promotional poster for tomorrow. Good God.
I think they might use that.
And I mean, Ashton, you've told this. Oh my God, they're starting it out. We're going to get a taste here, folks.
This ought to be interesting.
Abs-
Shibata, they want to lock up, but it looks like they're definitely waiting, kind of measuring it up, feeling each other out.
That's
Oh,
right.
Shibata went for the leg. Oh, the waist lock. Not Tanahashi reverses. Shibata reverses. Tanahashi tries to reverse, but Shibata gets on top of him. Oh my
Look at the
God.
coverage by Shibata.
The technical prowess of these two men.
Absolutely.
Look at Tanahashi holding his own too. Oh, but oh my God, Shibata.
I mean, ladies and gentlemen, I watched a lot of amateur wrestling highlights yesterday. I mean, these two guys are really outworking those guys, and that's really saying something. And now Shibata there, I think, tried to go back to the front face like Tanahashi was keeping pace, and that's the interesting story here. Because I don't know if Shibata's really worked with anybody, save for maybe AJ Styles, that can keep pace with him on that level. And Tanahashi was. There is so much pride between these two men. And now he's going to take Shibata into the corner. And let's see here.
I believe.
No, he's not. Look at that. Oh, man, these two men, their hatred. Tanahashi doesn't want to give the tag.
Here's the thing, though, John. It's worth noting. Tanahashi can keep up all he wants. It's going to take one strike from Shibata to knock Tanahashi down.
Absolutely.
And in comes Kushida.
His striking game is unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen. And this is another matchup. Kushida versus Shibata, but Taguchi. I was really looking forward to that. And tenderizing the meat, if you will, getting that rear all nice and ready to make contact with everybody's face is Taguchi. You know, we have our new rule. Like I said, we can make references to Ishii while Taguchi's in the ring. And I just wanted to give a shout out to Hazardous Something. Came up with a great Ishii reference, that game that we've been playing. How much do you fear Tomohiro Ishii? And Hazardous Something came up with one where he would be going to the grocery store and he would park. But then, even though he parked before Ishii showed up, when Ishii does show up, he would just give up the parking space and say, I could just grocery shop later. I don't even need to eat right now. So I thought that was hilarious. I certainly fear Ishii to the same degree. I do not blame you, Hazardous, and thank you for commenting. We really appreciate it. Yeah. As you see, Kushida there, thankfully for all of our sanities, dictating the pace. And I'll tell you what, though, Kushida, the absolute opposite of Taguchi in that we just love watching him work, Ashton. And Tanahashi there.
A lot of fun. He is. I personally think, as good as he is, I think that he gets a little bit overrated by a lot of people, but he's still very enjoyable.
Now look at the frequent tags here by this team, working that wrist lock on Taguchi.
They're just copying the time splitters.
But with 3 people instead of 2, and now Taguchi broke out.
It looks like, Tanahashi wants in.
Tag back in Shibata.
Are we going to get Jushin Thunder Liger? Yeah, Liger versus Tanahashi maybe? Or I guess they're not counting Tanahashi's tag as official. I don't know. I don't even know anymore, man.
I don't know anymore either. I guess Mascara Dorada got the official tag. And look at that. Ducks the clothesline here. Now off the ropes. Springboard. Oh, look at that. Lands on the apron.
Lands on his feet, though.
Nice kick.
Springboard.
Nice drop kick.
Very nice.
Dorada's got to be feeling good. Vaults over the ropes. Oh, could have been crossbody. Liger had it scouted. Now he's going to vault over the ropes. And what a moonsault.
Beautiful.
I'll tell you, Dorada has really impressed me in these tag matches. I think I've become slowly a Dorada fan of sorts.
Yeah, I was even going to say, he's so agile. You would never expect it from somebody that has kind of the age and size profile that he does.
Yeah, Mascara Dorada, the CMLL, the welterweight champion. Now a nice elbow drop there to Jushin Thunder Liger. Hooks the leg here, and a 1 count. And Liger, you think Liger's got butterflies in his stomach? You think he's nervous about coming to NXT and facing Tyler Breeze?
Absolutely not.
Wow. I don't blame you for that answer, though. He is a legend for a reason.
Yeah, now, he doesn't know what freaking butterflies are anymore, man. He's been doing this for so long. He's so used to it.
And now look at that there. Tanahashi just vaulting onto Jushin Thunder Liger there with that forearm. Now he's going to slam him down. This is an interesting pairing with Tanahashi and Liger.
Senton. He's going for a senton.
But he got it.
Oh no, he did get it. I thought Liger moved out of the way. That's funny.
No, he got full contact there. And now look at that, staring at Shibata. Ashton, that match tomorrow.
Yeah, there's some real tension there, and these guys had an amazing teaser already. I kind of doubt we're going to get much more between the two of them in this match.
And now look at Kushida there working over the arm of Liger. A nice arm breaker there over the ropes. I'll tell you, those ropes, there's not really much giving them. You'd think, well, they probably can't be so bad, but it can be.
Too many people think that rope, when they think rope, they think like the kind of rope that you would climb in a gym class. But these are really more like, almost like cords, like pulled really tight.
Exactly. And you know, that's just the funny misconception about the ring overall, though, partner, is that I think so many people look at that ring and they're like, oh, it's like a bouncing castle or something. And no. No.
Yeah, I
It's
mean, they think that the mat is like trampoline padded or something like that. They think that the ropes are kind of like bouncy or something like that. I mean, yeah, you can bounce off the ropes, but it's technically you can kind of bounce off of concrete too.
yeah, absolutely. Oh man, here we go.
Yeah, I didn't realize. I did not think that we would get this matchup again in this match.
Oh, and
Look at
Shibata.
Shibata though. Like I said earlier, the technical prowess might be there for Tanahashi, but one strike's all it's going to be. Oh, and
Oh
going for
dear
the drop
God.
kick, basement
There it
drop kick.
is.
Yeah,
Right on the
Tanahashi.
face.
Tanahashi might have the technical prowess. He might be able to keep up with Shibata's amateur style stuff, but as soon as Shibata turns it into a fight, Tanahashi's at a disadvantage.
And that float over from that suplex was so beautiful. I don't know if anybody.
Sleeper!
Oh man.
No, no, I think he's just going for a chin lock now.
Absolutely. Yeah, that rear chin lock potential. And oh, look at that though. Look at that though. Wow. Wow.
Into an abdominal stretch. Oh my god.
Shibata is so good.
He is.
I mean, look, I gotta give him the compliment watching him all these days now. I have to put him up there as far as the technical acumen with the angles and the Benoits of America. Like, just unreal. I mean, look, you know I'm a fan of this type of wrestling, have been for years, but Shibata is just next level. And now,
Oh, he just. Oh, but. Oh, the
oh
leg
God,
screw.
oh God.
Dragon screw leg whip from Tanahashi. One of his signature moves. One of the moves that he's used to win that IWGP World title over and over and over again.
I mean,
Oh, but
actually,
Shibata with the boot.
oh, and the slap,
Tanahashi. Was that even
Tanahashi
a
more.
slap? That almost looked like a punch.
I think that may have been a punch, but then the knee there by Shibata. And I mean, Asher, what does it say about the animosity between these two men that they couldn't even wait for Saturday?
I love it.
That they just
And now we
had to
get
get.
tagged. In comes
Oh,
Taguchi,
oh
and
man, and Taguchi.
he prevents Tanahashi. You know what? I'm not even going to call Aster anymore. I'm going to call it a hip thrust.
That's actually a nice substitute. And Tanahashi there got the forearm, though. He got the forearm. Who's he going to tag, Kushida or Dorada?
It's got to be Kushida.
We'll see. Here he gets back up, and it's
And I was
Dorada.
wrong again. I am
Dorada
done,
now.
done
Springboard.
trying to predict.
Absolutely. Kick to the gut there, Taguchi. Dorada dictating the pace right now. In the corner there. Look at that. Vaults Taguchi over the ropes. Taguchi lands on his feet. Oh, nice strike there by Taguchi. Oh, but Dorada scaling the ropes. Could it be that arm drag? No!
Oh, wow. Taguchi pushed him off and he just did a backflip. Now,
Oh, my God.
possible
Again,
Rana.
though.
No,
No.
arm
Arm
drag.
drag deep, and he got it. Hooks the leg, and Taguchi kicks out here.
Nice, though. That was a really, really good looking top rope arm drag. And that was actually the top rope, too, because, like, seems like so often we're ready to call something top rope and then they only go to the middle rope to do it.
Absolutely. And now,
Moonsault. Oh, but Taguchi got
oh,
his feet up. Not even just his knees, his feet.
absolutely. Taguchi having that scouted, and Dorada in a vulnerable position for that hip thrust against the ropes. And oh, there it is there. And could be another one upcoming, and there it is.
Yep.
Two. Could be thinking a trifecta.
Oh, is he going to go for a knee, maybe?
No, it's gonna be the rear. It's gonna be and oh no, Dorada! Look at that victory roll there. Two and Taguchi
Oh,
with
man,
the
I thought that might have been it.
oh now the Instagram, but Taguchi ducked.
Oh, ankle lock!
Wow,
How rare is it to see Taguchi whipping out a legitimate wrestling move?
I know, right? And Tanahashi and Kushida, I think they had similar concerns. It's like, wait, that wasn't his rear. What the heck is this? And oh, but now look at this. Could it be Tiger Suplex?
Chicken wing.
No, Dorada fights out. Dorada now fireman's carry to Taguchi.
Samoan
Taguchi
driver. No.
rapid elbows, and there's again the hip thrust there, or the rear view
view.
if you prefer. And
That's
oh
hip
wow,
thrust. That was a friggin' hip slide, brother.
yeah, not even positioned against the ropes either. That was just seated variation. And now Liger coming in, taking out Kushida. Oh man, Liger. Oh man,
What a
Liger. What is that done over here?
Cannonball.
Oh, and now Kennedy, he's got him up there. Another victory roll counter. Two, he's got it in
Two.
deep. Oh, Taguchi countered. Two. And another kick out, but again goes back to
Ankle
that
lock.
ankle. Look at the wrestling by Taguchi for a change.
It's
Wow.
nice. It is nice to see, I gotta tell you.
Absolutely. Dorada now. Can he get to the ropes? Oh, Taguchi pulling him back.
I get why they call Taguchi the funky weapon now.
Oh, look at that, though, by Taguchi. Look at that. The elbow, but keeps it locked in. And now, really, and I think, yes, that's the tap out. He was shaking his head. That's the acknowledgement. It's too much for him to take.
Yep.
Taguchi gets a submission win.
Wow. Very impressive. Good on you, Taguchi.
Wow. Way to show us something, Taguchi.
It's nice to see. I mean, that's one of those things. We never really give up on a wrestler completely. So
Certainly not.
it's always nice to see when they kind of redeem themselves.
Taguchi saying, I'll show you rear-based offense. And he gets the submission win with the ankle lock. And Dorada here is going to have to check on that ankle. That may affect Dorada's performances throughout the remainder of this G1 Climax.
Yeah, I mean, it might. It might not. We'll see.
I mean, there are worse things to happen to a man than an ankle lock, to be sure, but, I mean, Taguchi certainly kept the pressure on. And Shibata just staring down Tanahashi.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
my
intense. I
God.
love it.
That is gonna, you know what? I know I've said it before, but I think this one definitively takes the cake as the match of the G1 Climax, if for no other reason. The history, the animosity, the intensity, and oh, this thing may not be over here. Oh, man.
Oh my goodness, the face off.
You guys know the story. Ashton's told it before.
They
I mean,
are absolutely nose to nose right now.
is somebody gonna strike
I
first?
really wish this wasn't a fixed camera show because I would really want to just kind of try and see if they're like mouthing anything to each other or what was going on in that little huddle.
I mean, everybody knows. Everybody knows that Tanahashi has never really forgiven Shibata for, presumably taking his ball and going home, but then coming back on his terms when things were looking good for New Japan, when he didn't put in any of the work. That's why I've said this tournament, I look at it as Shibata, his redemption, because you win this tournament, you get to the world title, you get that prime spot. And can you imagine Shibata being able to get off his back the ultimate monkey, and that's Tanahashi, the ultimate guy that's just been bearing on his mind, on his conscience for years, the guy that's held everything against him.
You can't even tell me that Shibata Okada for the title at Wrestle Kingdom 10 wouldn't be incredible.
It would be. It absolutely would be, and that's what it's about. Who's going to get that title shot? And speaking of Okada, he's already got his hands full. Because I'll tell you something, the Stone Pitbull Ishii, I think the only guy that can really match Shibata in intensity. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah.
And
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're at our intermission here, so I guess we're gonna cut recording here. John, if you have anything left to say.
I am so excited for these tournament bouts. It's all about Okada versus Ishii, though.
All right. We will see you guys for part 2.